everyone, and welcome to week 3 of Mythical Creatures. This week, we're going to learn all about trolls. So first, let's go over one more time, what exactly is a myth? Well, myths are stories about how the world was created and why certain things happen. Today, the word myth is often used to describe something that is not true. But a myth is not just a made-up story. Myths tell of gods, heroes, and events that a group believes, or at one time believed, to be real. So what is a mythical creature? Well, mythical creatures are supernatural animals, beings, or hybrids that don't actually exist in real life. The word troll actually comes from the Old Norse word trollen, which can mean variously fiend, demon, werewolf, or giant. Although there's a lot of other words that actually even overlap with trollen. 4 words that are often used for trolls are Jotun, which actually means giant, trollburs, hostile monsters, and Risi, heroic beings. Some people say that these are 4 distinct creatures, but there's a lot of cross usage with these words. Trolls are a staple in Scandinavian folklore and Norwegian mythology. The countries of Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark all have Scandinavian roots. You can see those countries, as well as Iceland's and the Faroe Islands, here on this map of Scandinavia. There are 2 distinct types of trolls. The first is the forest or mountain troll. This troll is large and brutish, and not exactly known for its intelligence. It resembles a disproportionately giant human. Often these creatures have exaggerated facial structures, such as jutting lower jaws and protruding brows. They are said to use their connections with nature to uproot trees and use them as clubs, as well as being able to cause hurricanes and avalanches. These are also the trolls whose riddles you have to solve to cross a bridge. The other type of troll is said to live underground or in deep caves and caverns. These are called the cave trolls. They are smaller, sometimes even smaller than humans. They often have disproportionately smaller features, such as short, stubby arms and legs, although they tend to have a fatter abdomen. Trolls of this type are often seen to be on the uglier side and depicted as gross looking. Slimy is a favorite adjective. In Norse mythology, they are not generally friendly to humans. They use their connections with nature to baffle and deceive humans. No matter the type of troll, they all seem to have some characteristics in common. Aside from being unfriendly, they're also generally depicted as stupid and dangerous. They may set clever riddles, but they're usually easy enough for most humans to figure out the answer. Scandinavian folklore actually has a more detailed description of trolls. It claims that trolls are also considered human beings, but they choose to live on their own, far away from human habitations. Other than their aggressive brute behavior, some of their kind are known to practice powerful evil magic or sorcery. Trolls in Scandinavian folklore are believed to have a lifespan that ranges from 1,000 to 2,000 years old. They are afraid of light, and when or if they get exposed, it causes them to turn into stones. Some say it's just the magic of the ancients, and others say trolls were born of stone, so they could be returned to stone. Plus, the climate of the Nordic region possibly comes into play with this idea. It could be that in Scandinavia's harsh winters, people would revere the sun and see it as a protective force from the cold. Belief in trolls is still strong in Iceland. According to their version of troll folklore, trolls are mainly mountain-dwelling creatures that get around in the night. In fact, you can see the remains of the unfortunate Icelandic trolls who stayed out past their bedtime off the shore of Reynisfjara Beach. Jutting out of the ocean, you'll see a dramatic formation of rocks known as the Reynisdrangar. It is said that these are the frozen remains of 3 trolls. As for Iceland's most famous trolls, it'd probably have to be Griala. a female troll with a penchant for kidnapping and eating children. Or at least that's what parents would tell their naughty children. Gryla's 13 troll sons, the Yule lads, as they are called, are also renowned in Iceland. In the 13 days before Christmas, these troll lads would either leave gifts or rotting potatoes for children while they slept, depending on how well behaved that child had been. The country of Norway is a rocky place with plenty of stone crags and outcroppings. It doesn't take a vivid imagination to see that some of these rock formations look almost human-like, with weathered faces and stocky bodies. In fact, one place in Norway called Trolltidturn, or Troll Peak, is so craggy that according to Norse legend, it is the site where two armies of trolls were fighting a great battle. Each warrior was so intent on the fight that none of them noticed the rising sun until it was too late and both sides were turned to stone. If you ever happen to travel to Norway, make sure and visit the Hunderfossen Family Park in Lillehammer. It is an amusement park that centers around Norway's fairy tales and folklore, including, you guessed it, Norwegian trolls. There are a lot of trolls in art. Theodor Severin Kittelsen, who lived from 1857 to 1914, was a Norwegian artist. He is one of the most popular artists in Norway. Kittelsen became famous for his nature paintings, as well as for his illustrations of fairy tales and legends, especially of trolls. This painting is called Forest Troll and was made in 1906. John Albert Bauer, who lived from 1882 to 1918, was a Swedish painter and illustrator. His work was mostly concerned with landscape and mythology, but he also composed portraits. He is best known for his illustrations of early editions of the book Among Gnomes and Trolls, which is an anthology of Swedish folklore and fairy tales. This illustration here is called Good Evening, Old Man, the Boy Greeted, and it's one of the images from the anthology. The Fremont troll, which can be found in Seattle, Washington, is a big, fearsome, car-crushing bruiser, and it took up residence under the north end of the Aurora Bridge on Halloween of 1990. He was sculpted by house builder Steve Badanis, who had never even made a statue before. Two of his University of Washington architecture students, Will Martin and Ross Whitehead, and his then girlfriend, Donna Walter, assisted him with the statue. Baldines's design for Head and Shoulders sculpture won a contest sponsored by the Fremont Arts Council. The shaggy troll, which is 18 feet tall, glares southward with his shiny metal eye, which is made from a Volkswagen Beetle hubcap. In his left hand, he crushes the rest of the old-style Beetle, which originally contained a time capsule of Elvis memorabilia, but it was removed after the car was vandalized, and the California license plate was even stolen. The crushed car and the out-of-state plate were meant as protests from outsider development. There are plenty of places to pose, and interaction with the troll is encouraged, as long as you're respectful. This is Trollels the Troll, which is in Horsens, Denmark, and was placed in 2015. It's a recycle sculpture by Swedish artist Thomas Dambo, and he made this piece for the city of Horsens as part of their Feel Horsens campaign. To renew the city, made this piece for the city of Horsens as part of their Feel Horsens campaign, to renew the city in an artistic and playful way. Trolls is named after Thomas's assistant and is almost 16.5 feet tall. He holds a swing for the local kids to use. Besides from an engineered rafter inside the troll holding the swing, the whole sculpture is made from scrap wood retrieved from local businesses. The troll's hair is actually made out of plants from a local park. Thomas Dambo also created the Isaac Heartstone, which is a 15-foot tall wooden troll sculpture located on the Trollstigen Trail in Breckenridge, Colorado. It was placed there in August of 2018. People used to make stories based on their own actual experiences and events, but with a few tweaks for the purpose of making it a little more interesting to hear. The reason why they had to turn it into a fantasy or something unbelievable but interesting enough to listen to was so that the listener would remember it for the rest of his or her entire life. Thus, these stories were passed down through generations, and they probably got revised several times. Trolls have a connection with Norse mythology, and in the 1830s, two men named Asbjornsen and Mo, who were the Norwegian version of the German Grimm brothers, traveled all around southern Norway to gather folk tales, and a large part of those were about trolls. The tales that they wrote down became famous and are still known by Norwegian children today. In myths and legends from Norway, trolls served an important purpose. They provided a contrast to show off the positive qualities of the hero. The troll was ugly to the hero's handsomeness, dumb to the hero's cleverness, and slow to the hero's quickness. The hero would defeat the troll using a combination of intelligence and quickness. Trolls are foils to show the virtuous traits of the hero. One story that may even sound a bit familiar to you is called Getting the Better of Trolls, a Norwegian tale. This tale tells of Askeladden, the youngest son of a farmer who needed wood from the forest to pay off his debts. When both of Askeladden's older brothers went into the forest and returned empty-handed, having been scared away by a troll, Askeladden went into the forest with only a piece of cheese to keep himself from starving. When he encountered the angry troll, he pulled out the piece of cheese and, pretending it was a rock, squeezed it until the whey came out. Thus the troll was fooled and, fearing his great strength, offered to help the boy with the woodcutting. After working hard, the troll invited the boy back to his home for a meal. As he was tending the fire, he pointed to two huge buckets and asked the boy to fetch water. The boy realized he couldn't carry such massive buckets empty, let alone filled with water. So he claimed that, they were too small, and he would simply just bring the whole spring instead. The troll obviously didn't want a whole spring in his house, and so they exchanged chores. The boy tended the fire, while the troll went to get water to make porridge. Once it was ready, the boy suggested that they have an eating contest. They ate as much as they could. However, the boy placed his knapsack underneath his shirt and filled it with the porridge instead of putting it in his mouth, without the troll even noticing. Once his stomach, or knapsack, was full, he cut a hole in it so that he could continue to eat. Once the troll was full and could eat no more, the boy suggested that the troll cut a hole in his stomach, just like he'd done. That way he could eat as much as he liked. The troll, not being very intelligent, did so, and of course, he died. Thus the boy took all of his gold and silver, and the farmer was able to pay off his debts. From the descriptions given of trolls, some researchers believe that the Norwegian stories of trolls may in fact be based in reality. Trolls seem to resemble Neanderthals with their heavy jaws and deep brows. These researchers surmise that modern men, as they explored Europe, encountered groups of Neanderthals. Early modern man would have noted the similarities between himself and the Neanderthals, but also would have observed differences, enough to conclude that Neanderthals were not as advanced as humans and were more monster-like. According to researchers, the modern man began to share stories of encounters with the Neanderthals to other groups of humans, which led to the myths and legends we have about trolls. This sculpture of a Neanderthal man looks a lot like many descriptions of trolls. Whatever their origin, trolls represent that which is somewhat peculiar and different, yet hauntingly similar to ourselves. Efforts to depict trolls in literature, art, music, and other cultural forms may reflect our desire to embrace, yet at the same time almost fearing, those that are different. There are many representations of trolls in popular culture today, both good and evil. Some examples are the Trolls movies, the very popular troll dolls from the 1990s, the trolls in the movie Frozen, and then there's also the trolls in Hobbit and Harry Potter. To learn more about trolls, check out some of these amazing books available at OCL. The Element Encyclopedia of Magical Creatures by John and Caitlin Matthews, and The Truth About Trolls by Thomas Kingsley Trope. Thank you so much for learning about trolls with me this week. I cannot wait to make our troll craft. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi everybody, and welcome to the Mythology Crafts. So, first thing that we're going to do is take out our mythology bag. And for this craft, this is the troll headband craft. So the bag that you're going to need is the one that says trolls. Okay. So we open our bag and we're going to literally just take everything out onto our table here. This is a pretty easy craft, so you guys are going to be able to pick up on this really quick. We have our instruction sheet, which we'll place to the side here. We also have all of our tulle here, all our different colors of tulle, some charms, a length of ribbon, a rubber band, and your headband. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of just separate some of this tulle here. You can see it's all different colors, all kinds of different colors. It's going to give us a nice rainbow headband. Go. Nice and easy. All right, so we're going to take our headband here. We got our headband. And we're going to take one length of tulle. And you're going to put it on the headband. So it's pretty much, it doesn't have to be perfect, but about halfway. Fold it in half, like this here. And then you're going to tie a knot. And you're going to tie it just like you're tying your shoes. Right, like this. One time, and then tie that beginning part one more time, like that. And that gives it a nice knot. And then you're just going to continue doing that until you use all of your tulle. Now, you have two or three strands of each color. So since I want to make mine kind of like a rainbow here, I am not going to put the two strands that are the same color like next to each other. I'm going to kind of spread them out here. There we go. Here is the last one. There we are. Look at that. Crazy. Awesome. So cool. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this headband here, all this tulle, like this. Kind of squeeze it together like this. And about halfway up, you want to go about halfway. So here's my top. This is about halfway. I'm going to take a rubber band that was in your bag. And you're going to pull that around once, twice, 3 times. It looks like I'm going to be able to do one more time because these were kind of about bigger rubber bands. You know what? I'm going to do it one more time. So it's 5. That's going to be a total of 5 times around. There. I got it nice and in the center. And then maybe I'll poof it out a little bit here, like that, so it's got a bit of a poof in the middle there. You might want a poof, you might not want a poof. It's up to you. And then we take our ribbon, okay? And you're gonna have all different color ribbon. And that's okay too. And we're gonna just tie a bow, just like when you tie your shoes. Instead of a knot, like what we did earlier, we're gonna tie a bow. So you do that part, and then you go one little loop. And this is how I tie my shoes. You might tie your shoes a little bit differently. And if you need help with this part, because your ribbon's not super, super long, if you need help, it is okay to ask for help here. This is a good thing to do with a family member. Pulled my bow a little too tight. Pulled my bow a little too tight, so I'm gonna do those loops one more time. See? Even I might have to get an adult to come and help me tie my bow. I am an adult and I might have to go get an adult. That's... Here we are. Ah, got it that time. Okay, you know what? You know what's awesome about it? That's good enough. So now, and this is optional. You do not have to do this part, but you have 4 charms in your bag. And look, oh, they're all gonna be different. So I have a broccoli and a star, the letter M, and a bunny rabbit. And you're gonna have different charms than I do. You're not gonna have the same charms as me. And that's okay. So back in your big mythology bag, in the big part, you reach down in there, you're gonna see that you have some glue. So I'm gonna take this glue here, and I am just going to dab a little glue here at the very end of there here, and I'm going to put that bunny rabbit right there in the glue. And I'm going to let it dry. I'm gonna hold it there. So you're gonna have to wait longer than that. But since I don't wanna have to sit here all day, and you don't even need the charms. I mean, the charms are completely optional. So since I don't wanna make you guys wait, I'm gonna just kind of wipe that glue off here so I can show you what it looks like, because you know I've gotta put it on. All right, ready? Are you ready? Here we go, look at that. You got a troll headband. Now I think I'll go sing Can't Stop That This Feeling. What do you think? We'll go sing together? All right, let's go. No? Okay, maybe later. All right? I hope you guys enjoy making your troll headband just as much as I did. And enjoy the rest of your summer. And don't forget to turn in your summer reading logs to Orangeburg County Library branches. Okay? Bye.